Hi everybody, it is April and I'm in my craft room, and today we're going to be making another 3-yard quilt. This pattern is free, so let's get started. I found this pattern on the Fabric Cafe website under free patterns, and it is called Sew Fast. Now it isn't a color picture, but I will show you what it looks like. This is a 1-page pattern, and again 3 yards. I am actually going to use 3 yards plus I'm going to put an extra border around it. So let me go over my fabric selection, and I'm in an Americana mood, so I am getting ready for Flag Day and the 4th of July, so I have patriotic colors, your red, your white, and your blue. This is my flag fabric, and it is from American Valor, Stephanie Marat, Wilmington prints. So this is a Wilmington fabric. It's hard to read upside down. So this is my focus fabric. My flags are my focus fabric. Fabric 2, which is some stars, and I don't know if you can see the sparkle on that. And it's got fireworks, sparkly curlicues, and I didn't even really notice this, but it is a wood grain look, which of course I am obsessed with. And this fabric is from Brother Sister Design. This is from Hobby Lobby. Okay, and fabric 3, which is going to be the darkest fabric, is also from Hobby Lobby. I remember I bought fabric 2 and fabric 3 together, Brother Sister Design, and it is a blue background with white stars. So those are going to be my 3 fabrics. Now I want an extra border around the outside, and I struggled with whether or not to make this my fabric 3 or the stars my fabric 3. For some reason the blue struck me as better coordinating maybe, but I'm going to put this around the outside edge as an additional border. And I also went ahead while I was at Hobby Lobby, and they had their fabric on sale, and I got a backing fabric, and it's the red with stars on it. It's probably Brother Sister Designs, but let me check. Yes, Brother Sister Designs. And I can share measurements on this with you. So from fabric 1, we're going to cut 3 6-inch strips by the width of the fabric for strip assembly. Cut 1 6-inch by width of fabric. From this strip, cut 1 piece 6 inches by 25, and that's for the strip assembly as well. Cut 5 2-inch by width of fabric for border number 3. I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to cut 4 6-inch strips by the width of fabric, and then one of those I need to cut at 25 inches, and I need 5 2-inch. So 3 4 6-inch, 5 2-inch, and this is fabric 1. It's pretty straight, but just my last quilt. 2 3 4 2. Fabric 2. Cut 3 6-inch by width of fabric, cut 1 6-inch by width of fabric, and cut that into a 17-inch strip. Cut 5 1.5 inches by width of fabric for border number 2. So we're going to cut 4 6 inches and 5 1.5. And this is fabric 2. This is not directional, so I don't have to worry about it facing in the right direction, which is nice. that is fabric number 2. Just a teeny tiny bit left over. And I think they gave me a little more than a yard when I got it. Fabric 3, 12 1.5 inch by width of fabric for strip assembly. Cut 2 1.5 inch by width of fabric from each strip. Cut 1 1.5 by 25 and 1 1.5 by 17. Here's fabric 3. We need 12 1.5 inch strips by width of fabric, and that is for attaching to those 6-inch pieces that we cut out of fabrics 1 and 2. All right, got a little bit of my blue star left over. And I'll do my binding. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do my binding in. Okay, step 1. Referring to the strip assembly diagram, let me show you that. Using fabric number 1, 6 inches by width of fabric. So let's grab fabric 1. That's 6 inches by the width of the fabric. And 2 fabric number 3s that are 1.5 by width of fabric. So one of these. And one of these. I think that's gonna look good with the stars, just like here. Hopefully I made the right decision. Repeat making 3 strip assemblies. This goes like this. I'm not even gonna bother to cut the selvage off because I'm gonna have the selvage on my skinny strips and my wide strips. And I am going to sew this. And while I am at the machine, I'm also going to do my partial strip sets. These are my 3 6-inch by width of fabric strips, and I've just placed the 1.5 inch strip on either side so that the right sides of the fabric are together. I'm going to take these over to the sewing machine. Then I'm going to take this strip of fabric 1 and I'm going to cut a 25-inch piece. So this is 25 inches. And now I need these to be cut at 25 inches as well. And I've got this strip. Put them. All right, I'm gonna carry that over to the machine. But before I go sew, I have to show you all this awesome mug that my friend Dee made me for my birthday. And in the fashion of Joy Bernhardt, I'm gonna take a sippa. Very good. Ooh, it's strong too. All right, let's go sew. Here are strip sets, fabric 1 in the center and fabric 3 on either side. Okay, fabric 2. Nope, sorry, here we go. Step 2. Referring to the strip assembly diagram, repeat step 1 using fabric number 2 and fabric number 3. Strip assembly strips. Make 3 full assemblies and 1 partial assembly using the 17-inch strip. Okay. I'm cutting both strips into 8 by 8, so I am going to wait until I've sewn step 1 and step 2, and then I will cut my 8-inch square blocks. Here is your 6-inch strip. You sew the 1.5-inch strip of fabric 3 to either side of your fabric 2 on this one. And then you did the same thing with fabric 1. And you are going to cut this up in order to create your blocks. Your blocks are going to look like this. Let's do the first one. So this is fabric 1 and fabric 3, and this is an 8 by 8 inch block. This is fabric 2 with fabric 3 and also an 8 by 8 inch block. So let's cut up the rest of this fabric and then I'll show you how to put this together. What I'm doing is I am not putting seam on top of seam. I am staggering the seams so that it's not thicker in one place than it would be in another, and therefore hopefully won't cause your rotary cutter any issues. And cut. Only have a 1/2 inch. So now I'm going to put them in stacks of like blocks. Let me adjust the camera view so that I can show you how we're going to lay out these blocks. Here is our diagram. You'll be using block A, and you will orient block A, whereas fabric 3 is on the top and the bottom. Block B will be oriented in such a way that fabric 3 is on the left and the right. And then block A again, block B, and block A. And then there are 7 rows. So you have sets of 2 rows that just repeat until this last row, which is row 1 again. So you will take block A, let's put it here, and then block B, it is going to be this way. Block A, block B, and block A. And there you have row 1. For row 2, it's going to be the opposite. Your block B is going to be in the same orientation that it was in row 1, but it is going to be first. And then block A will be second. Block B, block A, and block B will be last. And then row 3 will be the repeat of row 1. Once you put your border on, so you'll put your border of fabric 3 on the side, so that will enclose these block A's, and then you'll put your fabric across the top, and that will enclose block B. And then what you can do is you can stack these on top of each other to sew your rows. And once you sew your rows together, so I need to sew my next 4 rows and put some borders on, and this quilt top will be done. And my quilt is not done because after I had sewn the last row on my quilt, I was pressing and I noticed something didn't look quite right. that's when I broke out the seam ripper. So not only do I have to detach this last row, I have to take apart these blocks that make up the row because I did not connect them properly. So when you're putting this quilt together, make sure that your orientation is correct. This block should have stars on the top and bottom, and this block should have stars on either side. So this one is not oriented correctly. This one is not oriented correctly. Did I do any of them right? No. So here we go, seam ripping. I will say, Sherry got this for me for my birthday. It's one of those pretty seam rippers, and it does a really good job. So let's seam rip. Disaster averted thanks to this and these, because you know it's hard to see when you are old. The center of the quilt is complete. Now I'm going to add borders, and I'm going to add borders just like I always do. I'm actually following this particular pattern, which is unusual. So I'm going to have my first border, which is going to be fabric 3 cut in 1.5 inch strips. For my long side, I will connect 2 of these strips together, and then I will attach it to the longest side. I will take whatever is left over from these 2 strips, attach it to another with the fabric strip, so the other long side, and then I believe I will need to attach what is left over from that long side to a long strip to go across the top. And once again, I will take what is left over from the strip going across the top, attach it to another full strip, and sew across the bottom. I will do that for border 1. Border 2 is fabric 2, and I've got these 1.5 inch strips. I will do the very same thing that I did for border 1 and border 3. I believe these are wider strips. Let's see, fabric 3, 5 1.5 inch strips. This is not fabric 3. This is fabric 1. Fabric 1, 2 inch strips. And that is going to be border number 3. So let me get all those put on, and then I will tell you how I'm going to deviate from the pattern. My quilt is not done. It's done as far as the pattern that Donna has given us, but I want to add more. I want to take this fabric, which is a red wood grain, and I want to do one more border around the outside. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, probably 6 strips, maybe 5. I might be able to get away with 5, depending on how wide. Now I don't have a yard of fabric here. I've got 30, we'll just say 30 inches to be safe. 4 times 5 is 20. I think I'm going to do 4 inch borders. So here we go. My quilt is done. I have the body of the quilt, border 1, border 2, border 3, and I added a 4-inch fourth border to give me a bigger quilt and just to add some interest. I have a helper. Remember, this is the Sew Fast pattern from Fabric Cafe. I'll put a link in the description below so that you can go pick this up. It is free. I really like this. I think I want to make a matching pillow. I think that would be really cool. And I found a pillow at Hobby Lobby that I will show when I show you the quilt more closely. And it's Gracie, but she's decorated for the 4th of July. So this matches that as well. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you liked it, subscribe in order to see more videos like this one and any other crafty tutorials I may do. Have a great day, eat some chocolate, and be kind to everyone. Until next time, bye. Hi everybody, it is April and I'm in my craft room and that sucked. Do over. What are you doing? Cut in 1.5-inch strips. Blah, 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 blah. I want to take this fabric, which is a red brick. Do over.